Scott, I want to start off with Goldman Sachs' note on Tuesday that said that oil and zinc and copper were all headed higher, and I wonder if we can extrapolate and say that they called a bottom in commodities. What do you think?
I think that it's a timely call. It's like a tactical call because they did make a call when oil was trading above 110 to sell some commodities, and we've come in 10-15% in oil or more and in other commodities. So down here, I like the call because I've been seeing tight patterns in gold and silver trying to play it for a bounce. So for me, I like the call. I'm in there, and I want to see if it actually amounts to something.
And it's interesting. So I want to look at gold first because it held up really well yesterday, even though the broad commodity complex was a little rough and sold off. And I wonder if we're looking at a major safe haven play right now, especially with the euro really tanking and all the issues over there. What at the chart, where is the best level to buy if you were interested in getting in as a safe haven play?
Well, two things.
Yeah.
Yesterday, gold was down, if you remember. I talked about it trading above its pivot point or that tight pattern on Friday, so gold was something to look at. So yesterday for traders, they bought the dip after playing that range resolution on Friday, and it's having some continuation. So if you look at the chart here on gold, let me show you what I'm talking about. Here was Friday. Remember that breakout above this tight lower range after a correction from up above 153? Yesterday opened lower, went higher, and now this momentum trade will be if gold could get above 148 and stay above there for a move back to 150. This is the GLDs. This is how I traded. I do see some big resistance right here. So hopefully you're in there already anticipating this call, because buying it today is the third up day, which is always tricky.
So do you think that the rally then yesterday that we saw midday, that was just trading, that wasn't necessarily a fundamental safe haven play?
No, it was definitely that as well, because you're talking about the euro was what? The euro was weak and the dollar was strong and gold was still going up. That means people were taking a little bit more, I would say, they were looking at the safe haven play more than the dollar being up. We shouldn't be buying gold. It was like, you know what, Greece, Portugal, Spain, all these guys are in trouble. So, you know, all these things, so they were buying it. So technically negative to positive is why I played it, but fundamentally those had a lot of reasons right there.
So beware of that third up day. Okay, but I think silver is a different story here because, yes, you can trade it as a currency, but I think it's also reacting more as industrial metal now, too. If we're going to see China slow, will it slow too much and then not need that kind of industrial metal? 60% of its usage is for industrials. What is the chart telling you about silver, and what's interesting there?
The chart is telling me right now opportunity. You know how I love these type patterns, and the last few days silver is getting so constricted, I'm waiting for some kind of expansion. I am long silver. I'm looking to see if it can hold this mini breakout. So
where would you add to your long position?
I'll show you right here.
Okay, go to the chart.
Good question. Here's the chart. Here's that lower pennant after a huge move from 48 all the way down. Tight, tight, tight. If this silver or SLV starts getting above, just say 34.70 or 35 and holds, we could easily see a move to 36.27 and maybe even to fill this gap up to 37. So it's not the type of moves we've had in silver over the course of the past month, but from here to here, that's a nice trade for traders, and that's something that I'm going to be targeting. And hopefully, I think SLV is up 50 cents. If we could hold in the first hour, I'll be able to add. I hope it just doesn't open up and go negative, which would be frustrating. And lately, it's been frustrating.
Yeah. I just want to point out that Wednesday is options expiration for gold and silver futures on the COMEX. So be aware. That's going to create volatility. So it's sort of like the run we'll see before it, if that can really be long-term lived on Thursday. Let me try that again because that didn't make sense. Any sort of movement that we see today and Wednesday, can that actually survive on Thursday and Friday was what I was trying to say.
Right, because on option expiration, just so you didn't know, there are forces at will that try and get prices pinned just so they can make money on their puts and calls. That'll be another segment down the road to explain.